So another simple way of thinking about this is that basically very essential items that we use on a daily basis like shampoo, soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all those things, basically, if you think about the supply and demand remains roughly the same for them every year, so the price just should remain the same every year, but you'll notice that that never happens. And in the event that the price actually remains the same from year to year, you will see what is referred to as shrinkage in the packaging industry. So instead of the bottle of shampoo being, cylindrical shape, they'll actually make it like an hourglass shape, so they'll put less of the same product. So again, the bankers are breaking the promise to us that our paper currency notes can buy the same quantity and quality of goods and services every year, because we are getting less and less and less and less for our money every single year. So what is happening during these current currency wars that's going on with the Canadian dollar, the Singaporean dollar, the Ukrainian hryvnia, the euro, the yen, the pound, and all of those actually have lost considerable value in the past year. But what's going on, say, with the Russian ruble, I mentioned already the Ukrainian hryvnia, the Argentine peso, the Mexican peso, and other emerging market currencies that have really collapsed within the past 3 or 4 years, because these currencies have lost anywhere from 30% to 70 or 80% in the past 3 or 4 years in terms of the purchasing power. So the last time I was in Mexico, I remember getting about, the Forex rate was about 10 Mexican pesos to 1 American dollar. Now when I go to Mexico, I get 16 Mexican pesos per 1 US dollar. So I actually receive 60% more Mexican pesos per dollar than just a little bit over a decade ago, which is insanity. Now, the other part of this insanity equation is that a lot of people erroneously interpret that to mean the US dollar is strong, because how can it not be strong? I'm getting 60% more of another emerging market currency when I exchange my dollar. So doesn't that make it the strongest currency in the world, as we repeatedly have heard by so-called pundits and financial talking heads on TV year after year after year after year? And the answer is absolutely not. I'm going to just insert this one picture right now, which you can take a look at, that will indisputably prove that the dollar has been losing lots of purchasing power as well, and is in reality a very weak currency as well. Okay, so that picture that I just showed you, that was a listed house. Looks like a shack, because it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in Venice Beach, California in America. And in 2015, that shack listed for $1.1 million. As unbelievable as that may sound, because it has 1970s Brady Bunch interior decoration and furnishings, and it's not even modern, and it's listed for $1.1 million, whereas just 33 years ago, in 1982, it sold for $30,000. It's even astonishing to me that just 5 years ago, in 2010, it was flipped and sold for $500,000. But since 2010, the price is more. Again, the asking price, that was the selling price, but the asking price has doubled, more than doubled, to $1.1 million, which is ridiculous. That's just mind-blowing to me, because the fact is that no one in their right mind would pay $1.1 million for 66 square meters of dumpy living. Am I not correct in making that assessment? So if we had a strong, remember I was arguing that we have a very weak US dollar, whereas Americans always say, oh, the dollar is really strong, because when I travel to emerging markets like Mexico, like Thailand, even non-emergent, even Singapore, that the dollar is strengthening versus all these currencies. But yet, think about it, if we had a strong dollar today, then $30,000 today does not buy you that entire house anymore. In fact, if you look at that $1.1 million asking price, $30,000 today merely buys you 1.8 square meters of that house today. So strong dollar, that's a joke. So if we look at it, the Mexican peso has lost 37.5% against a rapidly falling dollar, and the weak dollar only looks strong against the Mexican peso because the peso is falling at a faster rate. Here's the dollar, here's the Mexican peso. It's falling at a faster rate than the US dollar. Then what does that say about the strength of emerging market currencies? That is a really scary thought that you should marinate on for just a minute. So again, if I were to ask you to purchase that shack in Venice Beach, California for $1.1 million, you would automatically understand the difference between price and value, because you would say that is a ridiculous value for $1.1 million, that the price is way overinflated, that the fair value of that home to me is maybe $30,000. If the US dollar were truly strong, then that means the price of the house would have come down. So maybe I'll give you $25,000 since you're telling me we have a strong dollar today. I should be able to buy more and receive more home for per dollar. And as I told you, that means I should be paying less in dollars per square foot or square meter. So I will say that the fair value of that home is $25,000. That's what I'll offer, and I won't give you $1.1 million. But yet, when we look at the flip side, people can't understand that the pricing for gold can be pushed down to ridiculously low valuations. For example, if the price of gold falls to, say, from the current price of $1,170 falls to $1,000 or even $900 an ounce, people can't apply. It's really astonishing to me that most, I'm not saying everyone, probably because I know there's a lot of really intelligent people that watch my YouTube channel that understand exactly what I'm saying, but I'm saying most of society really can't seem to figure out that just as easily as bankers can manipulate the price of real estate to a ridiculously high valuation, that they can just as easily push the price of gold down to a ridiculously low valuation. So why is this? And I ask that question, why is this? Because it's simply taking the logic that we applied to that real estate example and applying it to gold and silver prices when bankers push the price down, but yet we throw that logic out the window when it comes to gold and silver many times. And in fact, if I kept ramping the price of that house up from 1.1 million, say, to $2 million, where now it's going to cost you $33,000 for every square foot of that house, you would again reject this price as ridiculous and nowhere close to its value. Yet when gold and silver are pushed down to ridiculous valuations by ridiculously low prices, we don't view that as a bargain, although we should, because what in reality is happening is that every dollar, every euro, every pound, every hernia, every Swiss franc we hold is actually worth more in gold. That's a crazy concept, because collapsing prices means that our paper notes are worth more in gold and more in silver, and that we should take the opportunity to convert it into physical gold and physical silver when that happens. But instead, we always will say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'd rather hold on to my devaluing, worthless paper fiat currencies, or the digital representations of these paper notes that are being stored in my bank account. So remember that the price of gold that bankers set every day in the derivatives market literally has nothing to do with the supply and demand of the physical gold. Nothing. Listen, just let that set in if you did not understand that before watching this vlog. So the bankers could feasibly push the price of gold down to $10 an ounce, but it would never change the value, because the value is its weight. So I remember one of my followers sent me this, he's like, check out this video, and it's a video by Mark Dice where he tried to see what he could barter and receive for a 10-ounce physical silver bar. And he approached a girl that had just come out of Starbucks and had already drank half of the Frappuccino, he said, I'll trade you the 10-ounce silver bar for what's left of your Frappuccino. So even at its current fake spot price of $16, because the premium for silvers right now, if you don't know, are much higher than the fake spot prices, especially for coins, because I remember checking the price of 2011 Canadian silver maple leafs I had purchased, and although the spot price was less than 16 a week ago, $15 and I believe 84 cents, the sale price was $23 an ounce, more than 51%, which should just tell you the complete excessive fraud that bankers commit in the spot paper, the spot silver, spot gold markets. But back to my story. Sorry, I didn't conclude it. The girl would not even give up her half-filled Frappuccino for a 10-ounce silver bar. That's how much we don't understand the value of silver today. Because again, the price, if you want to convert it, okay, say the price is somewhere north of $160 for that bar, but the value will always be 10 ounces. Now, here's another reason a lot of people can't understand the concepts I'm talking about in this vlog, because a lot of you that have been following me now know that I've come from a private banking, a private wealth management background with some of the largest global banks in the world and a Wall Street firm, but that I walked away in disgust out of the systemic fraud and immorality that had seeped into, or not even seeped into the system, because it's been around from even before the day I was born, okay? But the fact of the matter is I encountered a lot of MBAs from Stanford, Oxford, Harvard, Princeton, Wharton, the so-called elite universities of this world, and none of those people understood any of the concepts I'm talking to you about in this vlog, and I'll tell you why. Because Upton Sinclair once said, I'm paraphrasing now, that it's impossible to understand the truth when your job depends upon not understanding it. And when you work in the commercial banking investment industry, your job, as far as the Western world is concerned, depends upon not understanding the real value of gold and real value of silver. So what basically goes through the head when I try to explain these concepts to a lot of these people that I encountered with impressive educational pedigrees is that they immediately rejected it because they had been taught something entirely different in their MBA programs by their so-called professors. Remember the type of professors I told you that say gold's going to go down to $350 an ounce now, gold's going to go down to $250 an ounce now, and they say, hey, I pay $50,000 a year for my education. Don't tell me, because I shelled out $100,000 for my education, that I am wrong. And that's basically what's happening here. Now, when we look at Alan Greenspan, this is even more remarkable, because this is only 15 years ago, in the year 2000. Former Fed Reserve Chairman, the most notorious one of all, more notorious than Janet Yellen and Ben Bernanke, Alan Greenspan said, quote unquote, before US Congress, he said, I can't define money. Okay, now we all know that's pure propaganda and pure lies. So why would he say I can't define money? Because what he really was saying is I can't define what fiat, fake, counterfeit, digital money is. Because everyone can define what sound money should be. It's not that difficult. In fact, I defined the 9 qualities that all sound money should have in my Smart Wealth Academy program. That's going to be released very shortly. I know it's been taking some time to release it, but we're working as hard as we can. We're working day and night to get this program out to you as soon as possible. But in any event, Alan Greenspan didn't want to tell the world what real money is, because if he gave the definition of real money, then the whole world would have realized that we're using fake, counterfeit money today, whose whole purpose is to enslave us. And that is what Alan Greenspan was afraid of revealing to the world when he was asked to define money by US Congress and said, quote unquote, I can't define money. So recall at the beginning of this video, I showed you a photo. Now, if you actually did mark the time that I inserted that photo of 2 silver coins, you can go back and see if you can figure out what is wrong with it if you weren't able to figure out what was wrong with it before you watched this entire vlog. So now I am actually going to give you an expanded view that will show you what's wrong with that photo. Okay, so I'm going to insert that photo here now. Okay, so as you saw, there were two coins there. One was a Canadian silver maple leaf, the other one was an American silver eagle. Both have the exact same weight of 1 troy ounce of 49 fine silver, 99.99% silver. However, the face value of the American eagle is only $1, and the face value of the silver maple leaf is 5 Canadian dollars. So first of all, you learn that the value of silver and gold is just its weight. So the values of these two coins are the same, because 1 ounce of troy silver, or 1 troy ounce of silver equals 1 troy ounce of silver. So the face values in terms of fiat currencies, in terms of fiat US dollars, fiat Canadian dollars, should not even be on the coin. That's what's wrong with it. But if we analyze this a little further, you know that a coin shouldn't be stamped with a fake fiat currency price, right? But right now, secondly, the price in paper derivative markets right now for silver is slightly below $16 an ounce right now. So why do bankers state that the price of an ounce of silver is $1 US and 5 Canadian dollars? Furthermore, if you convert the Canadian dollars into US dollars, 5 Canadian dollars equals approximately 3.8 US dollars. So why is it that if you have a Canadian silver maple leaf and you're on the border of the US and Canada, and you step over with that same coin, that it devalues from 3.8 US dollars into 1 US dollars, and vice versa? If you have an American eagle and you have 1 silver coin, once you step over the border from US into Canada, it increases from 1 US dollar to 3.8 US dollars. Now you see how ludicrous it is, because the pricing mechanism is entirely wrong. Price does not equal value, and the value of gold and silver can only be determined by its weight in grams or troy ounces. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. That concludes this edition of the Smart Knowledge U vlog. Please do comment below, and please comment why you believe people do not understand the true value of silver and the true value of gold, and the fact that bankers are committing so much fraud. They're actually making our paper notes worth more gold and more silver, but yet people aren't taking advantage and converting their paper notes into physical gold and physical silver. So comment below, let me know why you think people around the world remain so ignorant of the proper way to value gold and silver, are ignorant of the fact that bankers are giving us a gift by making our notes worth more in gold and more in silver, but yet not taking advantage of this gift. And give it a thumbs up if you like it, because all this helps. Please pass it on to those that you think might be interested in watching this video as well, because if you like it, if you pass it on and spread the news, and if you comment below, it will help knowledge like this go viral. But if you don't, then only those of you that are watching now will remain a very small group that will see this video. Okay, thanks a lot again for watching. As always, remain intensely curious. Until next time, so long.